try that again. Right, it's Wednesday, for the point as possible. By now, I'm pretty sure we're all aware. We've seen on social media and the news, and maybe even in some newspapers, over Jeremy Kyle, the nation's favourite case of Schadenfreude, is what it is, has been axed because someone, after being found to have lied on a lie detector, after the show at some point, whether it was a week or whenever, took an overdose and died. Now, what do I make of this? Well, first of all, I'm not gonna defend Jeremy Kyle or the show. I'm not gonna do that at all. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say it blatantly and bluntly as for what it is. What he does is he, regardless of whose fault it was, and don't be wrong, cheating in a relationship is disgusting. That's not me. I'm not going to do that. I don't condone that sort of behaviour. But there's circumstances and there's mental problems, there's all kinds of reasons why people do what they do. And again, I'm not defending that. However, what he does is he turns into Jeremy Kyle the bully, is what he turns into. Okay, instead of getting the person who may have failed the lie detector help, or relationship guidance, or say, look, you've done a silly thing, try and build bridges, a good boy. Who's that? Russell, good morning. Yeah, so instead of Jeremy Kyle finding the person who was blatantly wrong on the lie detector test and saying, look, you need help, we can get you this sort of help, you need to have some kind of counselling. Hopefully, if the person you cheated on wants to stay with you, you can work through it. But no, what he does is he lowers himself down to their level on the floor, and he puts himself into just enough of a position that gives him a spring in case they jump at him. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Roy. You see, and what he'll do is he'll say this: you're a dirty, lying, cheating, no good waste of space who doesn't work. You've got no money and you take drugs all the time. And then that's what he'll say. He'll really drag them down. Okay? And then it'll be a case of, yeah, I know, but I've got no money and I can't work and I've got kids and blah, 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 for example. And then Jeremy Kyle's favourite thing ever is, you should have put something on the end of it. You're this, you're that, you're this, and he'll drag that person down. He will. He'll drag them down. He'll make them feel like absolute crap. Bearing in mind, okay, the person that may have done the cheating, the person who may have been that scumbag, okay, may have actually had tremendous amounts of guilt over that, and the reason why they were lying about it is because they didn't want to get caught, and they didn't want to get caught obviously because it was a terrible thing, and maybe it's because of shame. They felt a tremendous amount of shame, which is why they lied about it. An absolutely horrendous and tremendous amount of shame. That's not something that's nice to live. Don't be wrong, it's not something nice to do. You don't cheat on someone. But some people, I could imagine that if they did cheat, it would affect them, and they didn't like doing it, and they regret it, and they feel that absolute guilt over what they've done. So when they're found guilty on a lie detector test, you see, and Jeremy Kyle sits there lording it over them because he's the host of the show, dragging them down, calling them all kinds of dirty, scum-filled, hateful, drug-taking nastiness who doesn't work. You're just a cheater, that's all you'll ever be. Could you understand now why someone who may have been racked with guilt anyway, who may have felt absolutely, totally and utterly ashamed by their actions, has then gone on to national television and humiliated in front of millions and millions of people that watch it on a daily basis, to feel even more guilt and even more shame, to then think that they now, because of that absolute humiliation by someone, that they no longer want to live. You see, that's where I'm going with this. And it doesn't matter what the situation is, whether it's a lie detector, whether someone has drug issues, or maybe someone had stolen a mobile phone from someone's house. Yes, these are nasty, nasty things to do. But speaking to them like absolute trash because he's got someone to jump in case someone flies and kicks him in the face. Nah, that to me, that's trolling. That is live trolling on television, is what it is. That's what Jeremy Kyle is. He's a bully. And what he tends to do also is for the people that are genuine victims, is he will, and don't get me wrong, offer them all the support in the world. He'll give you all the support. He'll give you the classes, the this, that and the other. You know, you can work with counsellors. You've been so hard done by. And he's such hot and cold. You know, he won't offer the same sort of help to someone who has a problem, you know, or maybe he will to someone who has a drug problem and he'll offer them rehab, you know. But before going into rehab, he'll sit there and he'll say, you spent all of your mum's money on drugs, you're a disgusting human being, you went into her house, you stole her television, you sold it for 20 quid for this, that and the other. You know, I've got people trying to ring me. How inconsiderate. They should know that I'm going live. And, you know, so, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, he does do some good. Jeremy Kyle did do some good. You know, the help he does for people that want to find long lost relatives, for example. Like, I was reunited with my brother who I've not seen since I was 2. You know, and he'll go, we've done a DNA test and this is your brother. He's also your father. But no, it's, you know, there are some hope-filled stories of Jeremy Kyle. There really, really is. But when it comes to people that have done things that are wrong, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to defend them. If they're wrong, they're wrong. But there's a right and wrong way to speak to people. What he does is drag people down. You know, he like literally drags them down. He scrapes them across the floor, and then he expects them to be okay with that after being bashed on national television. No, sorry mate, it doesn't work that way, Mr. Kyle. For all the good you do, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And if you speak to someone like they're an absolute piece of trash, then is it any wonder that someone who may have had psychological problems took his own life after being humiliated on national television, after being dragged down? Yes, he done something which was really bad, but he may have regretted that. He may have regretted the whole thing. He may have not have actually wanted to go on the show, and yet he went there anyway and was humiliated. You know, lost the will to live because he may have hurt this person who he loved. You see, it's just, yeah, it's just someone's life we're talking about. I mean, it doesn't help matters that, you know, in order to get on the show in the first place, you know, the checklist for 90% of the applicants to go on the Jeremy Kyle show consists of fake tan, eyebrows that go halfway up the forehead, and teeth that look like 10 tombstones from Texas. Oh yeah, we know exactly what we're talking about. We all know the Jeremy Kyle teeth. I mean, don't be wrong, my teeth ain't great. I don't like my teeth, but at least I keep them clean. At least they're all mine, and at least I don't have a gap the size of the Dartford Tunnel in them, caused by years of neglect and all kinds of weird, just unhygienic nastiness. So there's that. After you. Manners. There's no manners anymore. A family on bikes, you know, not a problem. I'll let them go. It's a shared pavement, you know. I didn't want to separate them, and I let the youngest one go, who's roughly the same age as my son, and the little shit can't even say thank you. Manners are free, you know. Unfortunately, some cyclists turn into dickheads from a very young age, But yeah, so there we go. Let's read some of these comments. Got 10 people watching. It's great. Thank you for watching. So Russell, good morning. Roy West, good morning. Sarah, good morning. Sean Flood, good morning. Laurie, good morning. It is such boring TV. The thing is, though, what I like about Jeremy Kyle is it is Schadenfreude. And for those who don't know what Schadenfreude is, it's the act of laughing at someone else's misfortune. It's like if you're walking down the street and you see someone, I don't know, tread in a puddle that was deeper than it looked, and it went halfway up their knee and they fell over. You know, a lot of people would go, oh no, that person, he fell over, help them. Me personally, I'm like, you fell over. You know, but obviously if it's an old lady, I'm not going to laugh. If it's someone that like drops their phone and I don't know, in dog poo, you know, that's Schadenfreude. You're going to laugh at it. Let's have a look. Ross McGarry, good morning, Chris. How are you, pal? He says, I'm very, very well. You know, I've never liked him at all because he treats other folk like scum. This is very true. David Pearson, good morning to you. It's so weird to see you walking around my neighbourhood every morning. Is this your neighbourhood? Is it? Ah, that's nice. I do like Dulwich. I do. I call it Jeremy Pikey Show and not the Jeremy Kyle Show. Oh, come on now. Come on now. That's not fair to Pikeys. I agree. Chris, Jeremy Kyle is an arsehat. Yes, he is. I mean, like I said, he does do a lot of good in some instances. You know, he has a place for finding people that are lost, or doing DNA tests for you know, someone who may have lost their father as a kid, or finding family. You know, didn't know he had a son, sort of thing, and all baby, you know, and turns out that the woman he was with 10 years ago had a baby and never told him, and it turns out that that child was son or daughter. You know, she lied to him the whole time. You see, that would make him, one, a great dad already straight off the bat, and two, make the mum a lying, nasty person. He's always nicer looking ones. Yeah, kind of get that. He's to the people with teeth like a box of how can I put it, a tube of crushed up Smarties. Oh my god, walking into Dulwich Village. Yes, I am. I've got the picture gallery in front of me. To be fair, I'm actually about 10 to 15 minutes down on my normal time. By now I should be roughly at it's 4 miles to work. I'm late, and it takes just about 15 minutes to walk a mile, so I should be at the bottom of Red Post Hill now, but I'm not. That's a good mile away from the picture gallery. Good morning, Adam Carter. Let's read some more of these comments from Sarah and Guy. Let's have a look. There are some people like that where I live, and they don't use the cycle lane, and they shout abuse as you go. Yeah, I know. Thing is though, this part of the road I'm actually on, this pavement here, is actually a shared pavement for cyclists, and little did I know, because a few months back I actually had a go at a cyclist on this very stretch of pavement, and it turns out that I was wrong and they were right. So if that person ever sees this, I'm sorry. Guy, good morning. He says, good morning, Chris. Do you know about him and the programme, which is why I know all about him and the post, which is why I never watched it. Yeah, the thing is, this is what I can't understand. This is what I don't get, because I'm going to call JK, Mr. Kyle, I'm going to call him hypocrite for a lot of the things that he does. And the reason why I'm going to call him hypocrite is because I'm pretty sure a good few years back, okay, that there was something in the news or the papers about Jeremy Kyle romancing or having sexual textual relationship with a 16-year-old. And for those of you that live in the States, that may seem a bit paedophilic, but the legal age for consent in this country is 16. However, that's a grown-ass man. And if I'm wrong about what I said there, then I hold my hands up and say, look, I was wrong. But there's no smoke without fire. And I'm pretty sure there was something in the papers about that a good few years ago. And yet he has the audacity to go on national television and call people scum? Really? Isn't that just a little bit hypocritical? Oh, the hypocrisy is what it is. But no, someone has died after a Jeremy Kyle show. After being absolutely ripped to pieces live on national television. It doesn't matter realistically what this person may or may not have done, what they may or may not have been found guilty of on a lie detector. At the end of the day, to speak to someone with a little bit of respect doesn't take much, does it? Whether it's Jeremy Kyle's show or not. Okay, at the end of the day, people that go onto that show make him money. They don't get paid to go there. Okay? He should realistically be neutral throughout the entire thing to try and find peaceful resolution to whatever's happened. You know, instead he'll sit there and he will criticize and he will insult and he'll push his luck to the point where if it was me on the show and he spoke to me the way he spoke to some people, I've got a nasty temper. There's a good chance I would literally kick him straight on the fucking chin. I would. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. I hate the show sometimes. The honest true, but it's true. Jeremy Kyle, don't get me wrong, it is very repetitive. It's the same thing over and over. But again, a lot of people watch Jeremy Kyle because he had worse problems than them. So it was a case of, you know, it doesn't matter how bad my life is, their life is worse. And they watched it specifically for that reason, and that made them feel better about themselves. You see, so that's what you got to think of as well. The audience always sides with him. Reconnected. Are we reconnected? We're reconnected. So I'm going through Dulwich Village and the reception round here is absolutely shocking. I thought the legal age was 17, so I thought it is in Scotland capacity to make a change in decision like that to have sex with someone. It should be raised to 18. You know, everything else is 18. Cigarettes, alcohol. You need to actually look older than 21 to buy these products, and yet it's legal for a 16-year-old to say yes to having sex with a grown-ass man. I don't believe in that. That's wrong. Feel free to disagree with me in the comment section down below. Good morning, Chris. Have a great day. Thank you very much, Stuart. You have a great day too. That bakery, Gales, is overpriced trash. Now, as I've been in there on the odd occasion, I can actually agree with you there. You know, it's like I could go in there with a fiver, buy something relatively small and leave with no change. So anyway, I'm gonna go. It is Wednesday, it's the last day of the week for me. Well, kind of. I'm supposed to be off Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. However, I'm doing overtime on Friday. So what I will be doing is I'll be going live again on Friday afternoon around about 11:30 to 12 o'clock is when I'll be going live, depending on what I've got to talk about. I wish everyone has an absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. The sun is shining. If it is your first time joining me, then please feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, tell a friend that there's a bloke called Chris and he rants forever and he doesn't shut up, but everyone is welcome to join.